studio time check says it's 37 minutes past 6 a.m. Today is the 5th day in March of 2026. You're welcome. This is Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. We're broadcasting live from the Wells Broadcasting House along Alaafin Avenue, Uliole Estate, Ibadan. That's where we're broadcasting from. You can watch us on Facebook on our fan page at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, or you can join us. I'll join you to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and X at Wells Radio 893. You can visit our website, www.wellsradio893.com, to listen if you don't have your radio set handy or if you are out of Ibadan or your state. Alternatively, you can find us on a couple of radio directories like radiogarden.com, onlineradiobox.net. All you have to do when you get to those radio directories is search Wells Radio. You're welcome this morning. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. The program is Perspectives Unlimited. We're taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria this morning. I sincerely apologize. We started about 7 minutes behind schedule. Thank you so much for your patience and for staying with us. We'll get started this morning so we don't waste any more time. We'll take a look at the front pages, and together with our analyst this morning, we'll be able to go deeper into the stories beyond the news, even just to ensure that you're able to make sense of it. And of course, by 7 o'clock, you'll be able to be a part of the conversation by calling us. But before then, if you want to be a part of the conversation, please drop your comments on our Facebook fan page where we're currently live, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. Just drop your comments and I'll definitely read them. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, the lead headline says, State Police IG sets up panel to propose framework. The writer says new police chief insists force not threatened, orders intelligence over Middle East tensions. That's what is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Oyo 2027, jostle for Adelabu's ministerial seat heats up. That's on page 23. Alleged terrorism, AGF takes over Malami and Sons trial. You find out on page 22. Lagos prosecutes 4,000 residents for illegal waste dumping. You find out on pages 4 and 5. More headlines. Zamfara governor weighs defection as INEC deadline looms. You find out on page 22. I won't die anytime soon, Obasanjo declares at 89. You find that story on page 14. Federal government approves 1.2 trillion naira for Ibadan-Ilesha Road. Others, that's on page 14 as well. Tinubu halts cashless airport toll over gridlock chaos. That's the reason on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. In picture stories, we see President Bola Tinubu congratulating the new Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, after his swearing-in ceremony at the presidential villa in Abuja yesterday. All right, on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the lead headline says IGP Disu gets set for state police, inaugurates 8-man committee on implementation. Tinubu swears him in. Lawyer sets agenda for police chief. That story is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Federal government approves Carter Bridge demolition, reconstruction of Ibadan, Ife, Ilesha Road, and others. That's on page 17 this morning. More headlines are how the Hormuz crisis could affect Nigeria's oil, inflation, naira, and markets. That's from experts. Federal government imposes 6-year ban on new private varsities, revives adult literacy, approves insurance cover for 180 federal unity schools. That's on page 11. 43-year-old man kills brother for shooting him in dream. That story is on page 11 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. In health, aloe vera may help malaria treatment work best with standard malaria drug. That's from a study, and that's on page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. CBN's gold holdings in foreign reserves rise to $3.5 billion. You find that on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Moving to the Daily Trust newspaper, the lead headline is very similar. State police framework begins. You find it on the front page, continued on pages 3 and 4. More headlines. Despite completing terminals without buses, FCTA to build more. That's on page 16. Christian genocide, Murik takes Amukbito to National Assembly. You find that on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Nigeria's World Cup hopes dashed as FIFA upholds DR Congo's spot. All right, that's also there. And that's about it on the headlines that are making the rounds this morning across the different dailies in Nigeria. I'll bring up our analyst, Mr. Oduekun Sani, who's joining us today. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, madam.
How do you do?
I'm doing well. How about you?
We thank God. All right. I honestly want to start not from the state, please, but I want to start with this headline. I believe on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, okay, and it says how the Hormuz crisis could affect Nigeria's oil, inflation, and naira markets. That story is apparently written by experts, but I have my own questions. We know that we've learned that the Strait of Hormuz has been, will I say, blocked or closed by Iran, and as such, the ships that are supposed to, go through that area, supposedly ships carrying crude, are not able to go through that route, and so they have to go through a longer route. And of course, economics, just shows us that will make it cost more. If you're supposed to take 15 naira a bike to a place and then you end up taking 1,000 naira bike, it will make that product cost more. But what's our business in Nigeria, especially because at some point, Nigerians really shouted and cried for the federal government when Aliko Dangote, who is unfortunately our major refiner, or our only refiner at this point, of crude oil in Nigeria, when he had shouted that he had an agreement with the federal government to supply him crude oil in naira, with the NNPC rather, to supply him crude oil. That was the crude for naira sales. And then they stopped. And Nigerians, and he said that was why the petrol price rose at that point, because he had to source crude oil from outside of the country. And Nigerians shouted and, all of that. And then the president gave the order, to continue the crude for naira sales, because the what was explained to us as Nigerians was that, it's simple math. If he's buying the crude at naira instead of dollars, it's going to be cheaper when he finally refines it. So what's our business as Nigerians? Why should petrol be more expensive?
Thank you very much. Let me start with the Strait of Hormuz. It's not that there's going to be a longer route. That is the only route that goes into Middle East.
So nobody's going to be moving anywhere.
And when we're talking about the Middle East, we all know that is the headquarters of global crude deposit in the world. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Iraq, Iran itself. Essentially, at least a quarter of the world's global supply has been cut right now, simply because no ship can move in or move out of the Middle East.
So there's a shortage.
There is a shortage. And in common economics, once supply drops below demand, price is going to shoot. That is it. That's that for the Strait of Hormuz. As for Aliko Dangote, in my opinion, he is, maybe after the federal government of Nigeria, he is the next most unfair entity to Nigerians, in my opinion.
Isn't it just, I don't want this to be about an individual.
No. Let me say something. On the day he moved the price of petrol from 7.74 to 8.74 from his own refinery, the price of crude only went up by 6%. And when it was going to move the price of petrol in Nigeria up, it did by almost 15%. That is criminal price gouging, in my opinion. And it shouldn't be allowed. You said something about naira for crude for dollars. The truth of the matter is that, be it in naira or in dollars, if the federal government is still selling to Dangote and any refiner in Nigeria at OPEC rate, it is still going to be very, very expensive. If you are selling in naira, and take for instance, the price of crude is $100. It's not $100 today, but let's say it's $100. If you want to sell to that person in dollars, you'll be selling to that person in $100. If you want to sell to that person in naira, you'll be selling in the naira equivalent of $100.
So he's not getting it cheaper?
Not at all. The only thing that can make Nigerians have a relatively fair price of petrol right now is if the federal government now says that, we sell to Dangote, they currently sell to him, and that, OPEC only regulates the price you sell to other countries, not the
within
price
your
to sell
country.
Yes. So if the federal government now says, okay, let us find a way to make life better for Nigerians by selling to Dangote at a rate cheaper than the rate approved by OPEC, then there's going to be a reduction in price. But if the federal government is still treating Nigerians like they would treat the average Canadian or the average German, like they are selling to us at the same rate they will sell to Singaporeans, there's no respite.
So who really should we be talking to now? The federal government?
We should be talking to the federal government and Dangote. Federal government reduce the price at which we sell to Dangote. Dangote, there is no justification for that 15%.
If you say, I hear you, sir. But if you say that the federal government, in this sense, the NNPC, should reduce the price at which they sell to...
The NNPC cannot take that decision.
I'm saying, the federal government gives the order and then the NNPC does that. Now, if they reduce the price, isn't this bringing back subsidy?
I have always said it. Without subsidy, Nigeria is screwed. That is just the truth of the matter. We live in a country where your monthly salary is the price for a full tank of petrol. There is no way anybody can have a headway in that type of system.
All right. I hope that we've gotten, because a lot of people have been confused. I was trying to explain to my bike man yesterday, and he just didn't understand it. Why?
I hope he is listening
this
morning.
Yeah, I'll share the Facebook Live to him. All right, let's move on quickly to other matters. The IG, the Inspector General Tunji Disu on state police, of course, has made the headlines across all the dailies. On the Punch newspaper, it says State Police IG sets up panel to propose framework. On the Daily Trust, it says we're not afraid of state police, says Disu. On the Nigerian Tribune as well, it's there. I'm sure I'll find it. But let's take a look at it from both the Punch newspaper and the Daily Trust newspaper. The Punch says the newly sworn-in Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, on Wednesday inaugurated a committee on the establishment of state police. We recall that President Bola Tinubu last week had said some things about state police to the Senate, which you and our other analysts had concluded here that it was just lip service. Now, Disu, IGP Disu, has said that he's created a committee, and the committee's task is to examine the concept of state policing as part of efforts to strengthen Nigeria's internal security architecture and improve community-based policing. And he's also said that he assured his men that their job is not in danger of being taken over by state police. Because that's a very good question, Mr. Sani. If we have state police, what then will be the job of, will they still be under the federal police? And what will be the job of the federal police as is now?
Thank you very much. In other countries where they have federal police, state police, and local police, all of them work together, sometimes in unison, sometimes in different directions. At opposite directions, but doing different things. It's about the jurisdiction that each and every one of them has. It's going to be what is going to be defined by the National Assembly. You can't just wake up one morning to say, I want to do this. Your role must be defined by an act of parliament. That is what determines what each tier of policing is going to go into. But let us address this matter as it is. What exactly is the business of Mr. Tunji Disu with state police? Isn't
he the IGP of police?
He is the IGP of federal police. He has nothing whatsoever to... It's like the...
Are you saying that if the state police... I just want to get this straight. If the state police eventually, comes as reality, wouldn't it still be under the broader jurisdiction of the federal police? For example, the IGP. Isn't it still police?
It is not going to be under...
It's going to be a standalone entity?
Yes. What is the business of the State Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Education in Abuja? They have nothing in common, unless maybe there is a particular task.
So there'll be no oversight functions?
No oversight whatsoever.
And is that best for the current kind of democracy we have in Nigeria?
The current type of democracy is the current type of democracy simply because the things that should solidify our democracy are not there. That is why we keep saying this type of democracy, this hybrid democracy, and all of these things that we say. Had it been that you have your own role, I have my own role, nobody is going to overlap or interlap. I mean, you do your thing, I do my thing. At that particular point in time, things are going to be better for the people because you'll be doing your thing to please the people. I will be doing mine to please the people. I mean, it's going to be a win-win for the people as far as I'm concerned. But the truth of the matter is that Mr. Disu has no role whatsoever in this topic. It is the National Assembly that should amend the Constitution to say, okay, we want to establish state police.
So you're still maintaining that there's still really no active work to get state police?
We have not done one thing that will bring state police about. What I am saying is this: should the National Assembly now say, okay, there is going to be state police, and the president assents to that bill, and it becomes real, the only thing that can concern Mr. Tunji Disu with state police is, okay, as the governor of Uriye State, I want you, alongside your men, to come and train my new boys. That is the only thing that can happen. But in terms of framework, whatever, it has nothing to do. So all we are doing right now is political drama as far as I'm concerned. This is more of politics than reality. The current president understands too well that state police is an idea that you cannot defeat in any debate. And instead of doing state police, instead of implementing the framework for state police, he is rather doing JoJo that will make Nigerians believe that he is working towards state police, when in reality, there is nothing. If you want to create state police in Nigeria, all the president needs to do is to come up with a letter to the National Assembly, the Senate, and the House of Reps, modify, or should I say amend, the exclusive list, remove police from the exclusive list and put it in the residual. I mean, at that particular point in time, state police becomes automatic. Until that happens, it's just an idea of mouth.
IGP Tunji Disu has said, and in his words, he said the committee was set up early this morning to look into the issue of state police from the angle of the Nigeria police. We don't want it to seem as if others are taking decisions and we, the most important people concerned, did not do anything. We want to ensure that the best thing is done. And he also emphasized that the police was not opposed to state police, describing it as a partnership rather than a threat to the force.
They are going to have their job, like I said the other time.
I was going to ask, what exactly then would be the job of the federal police if all states have their own police force?
For instance, in America, should there be an interstate crime, then it becomes a federal police matter, the FBI. There are some things that should you put your hands into. We're talking about things in the exclusive list. It's not going to be the federal police that will investigate matters like maybe immigration, matters like banking, fraud, terrorism, and the likes. Then it's going to be the federal. But an idea of saying, oh, there's a particular boy going from house to house, raiding houses, picking things, that is not going to be the business of the federal government anymore.
And the state police.
It's going to be state police.
Now, Mr. Sonny, one major argument, well, not argument, but one major thing that people have said, especially for those who are hesitant, to agree on this state police of a thing, is that the state governors may use the state police as a means to an end for themselves. We could also see a case of, which we see now even with the federal police system. You could see a case of police from I'm giving an example. This is hypothetical.
Division.
Yes, from state A, go to state B to arrest someone at the behest of their principal. And then state B will come, the police in state B will come to, and you start to see a fight or wars.
Over jurisdiction. The truth of the matter is that if it's the fear of politicians using police for what they usually do, it currently happens. As far as I'm concerned, Malami and El-Rufai are suffering from that right now. I'm not saying those guys are innocent, but they are suffering from that right now. It is most certainly going to happen when there is, state police. But if you look at the current situation of things in the area of security in Nigeria, that's a much lesser evil. We need everything we can get at this particular point in time to to bring an end to the madness of banditry and all the likes. I do not see state police officers going against terrorists in terms of prosecuting them, but at least they can make their state to be able to welcome these bad boys.
And that's also something. Can they then make arrests? We've seen a good example is in Ibadan or Amotekun at some point made. I'm just giving an example.
Okay.
Made some arrests.
Okay.
Took these people to the police and then complained that the police released them.
We are still going to hear about things like that. What I'm trying to say is this: I do not see how state police officers are going to prosecute people for terrorism. But instead of prosecuting them for terrorism, you can prosecute them for possession of arms, which carries very, very weighty sentence in Nigeria. If you are caught with arms in Nigeria, it's as good as life. So that's still, I support it. I support it. It could be disturbance of peace, public disobedience and all of that. Let us have state police. That's just the truth about that.
Whatever happens, we'll move from there.
We will take care of ourselves from there.
After all, no system is perfect. Yes.
And, the truth of the matter is that a solution to a problem will certainly create another problem. We have a very big problem right now. We can't be more afraid than we currently have because people are dying, and that's the biggest penalty. If it's about people being locked up, they are going to come out. The person whose time has come to an end is the person who is dead, and that is what we are seeing today. So let us find a way to change the worst situation that we currently are in right now.
So state police it is.
It is.
All right, you're still listening to Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. We're taking a look at headlines and stories that are making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. We still have more headlines to take a look at, but we'll take a short break now. When we come back from that break, we'll continue taking a look at the headlines making the rounds this morning. So don't go anywhere. Just stay tuned. Don't forget you can drop your comments on our Facebook page, or when we come back from the break, you can be a part of the conversation by calling the studio lines.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. Attention, schools in Ibadan and its environs. Association of Christian Schools International, ACSI, is calling on Christian schools, mission schools, and church schools to join us at the annual Kingdom Scholars Rendezvous 2026. Are you ready to see your students shine like never before? Then join us. We're kicking off with the Ibadan edition with the theme Shining Light. Date 5th March 2026. Venue Christ Ambassadors International College, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. This impactful gathering will feature inspiring sessions with Pastor Dr. Olumuyiwa Adisa alongside engaging group projects, presentations, games, breakout sessions, and exciting musical moment. And that's not all. The Okeogun edition will come up on the 12th March 2026 with the same theme, Shining Light. Venue Sharon Rose Schools and College, Shaki. Speaker Mrs. Teniola Oluwashola, founder and proprietress, Sharon Rose Schools and College, Shaki. Schools in Okeogun and surrounding communities. This is your moment to be part of this life-shaping experience designed to raise confident, faith-driven scholars. Registration is open to both members and non-member schools. Each school slot covers 10 students, the proprietor, 1 teacher, all for 40,000 naira. Give your student a platform to grow in faith, confidence, and knowledge. To register your school, act now. Call 0706 387 1522. Kingdom Scholars Rendezvous 2026. Raising a generation that shines. Association of Christian Schools International, ACSI. Stronger together.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I am so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Hey there! Want to stay connected to your favorite radio station? Follow us on social media for the latest updates, entertaining wholesome content, and behind-the-scene peaks. We're on Instagram at Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways, and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you're welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. It's Perspectives Unlimited. We're taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. All right, we're continuing. We're taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria, and we'd like you to be a part of the conversation this morning. Join us in talking about the happenings in our country, Nigeria. This is where we call home. And so if we're not interested in the affairs of our home, I don't know. The phone lines are open. Please call us 0916 893 1000. 0915-333-4893 and 0911-3333-893. I'll take the numbers again, 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893 and 0911-3333-893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation this morning. We're taking a look at more headlines. Alleged terrorism, AGF takes over Malami and Sons trial. Oh, we have a call. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, madam. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, Ruth calling from Malakia.
You're welcome, Ruth. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, fine, thank you, ma.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, on the statements accredited to the new IGP, so I really commend him for the step taken on the issue of state police. So it really shows that he understands the responsibility before him. So I would just urge him to back his word with action, because at the level of insecurity in the country, it really requires urgent steps. And I will also call on the federal government to act quickly in implementing the state police so that the peace Nigeria deserves can be restored. God bless Nigeria. Good morning.
God bless Nigeria. Indeed, thank you so much for your contribution. Now, we're moving on to this, but keep the calls coming. The Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, has assumed control of the prosecution of a former AGF, Abubakar Malami, and his son, Abdulaziz, over alleged terrorism-related offenses and unlawful possession of firearms. The development emerged on Wednesday at the Federal High Court in Abuja when the Director of Public Prosecutions of the Federation, Mr. Rotimi Dipo, SAN, informed the court that the case file had been transmitted from the DSS to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. Is this, Mr. Sani, is this normal?
I won't say it's normal, but it's not illegal. And
it's not illegal?
Yes.
Okay.
And guess what? It was Abubakar Malami who started that. And it was IG. When it was AG, it was the one who came up with that review saying that the AG can take over any investigation from the EFCC, DSS, ICPC.
So that's a good development, I believe.
So he can deal with that. But my question is this. Why hasn't the AGF taken over that of...
Erufai?
No.
Yahya Bello, because the crimes are similar. They have to do with money.
Bello, why is he not ordered the investigation of Ganduje? These are the issues. These are the issues. That is why some of us are saying that, there is more of politics and these things than reality. Because the truth of the matter is that the guy who wants to prosecute Abubakar Malami was AGF just yesterday. A couple of years. That's the immediate predecessor in that office. Next year, Fagbemi is also going to become an ex-GF. An ex-AGF.
And there's no knowing what the new AGF will do.
You never can tell. So that is why I always advise these guys, when you are in office, make sure you do what is right so that your ghost will not haunt you when you're out of office.
So in essence, if you live in a glass house,
don't throw
stones. Okay, don't throw stones, but please do what the law says you should do. Prosecute those who should be prosecuted in an orderly manner. All right, so the case has, of course, been adjourned to March 10. It's in court, so we can't say too much about it. But in case you're just hearing of this, he is accused of knowingly abetting terrorism financing by allegedly, the keyword being allegedly, refusing to prosecute suspected terrorism financiers whose case file were forwarded to him while he served as the
I'm
AGF.
struggling to understand that. Someone didn't prosecute someone and you labeled that as terror financing. Does it make sense?
I believe the courts will let us know if it does make sense or not.
No, as the AGF, you are the number one prosecutor in the country. His defense is very, very simple. As a prosecutor, I couldn't see a way for us to secure conviction against these guys, and I felt like not wasting the country's resources.
So it's up to those who are
judge.
prosecuting him to then,
Come
lay
up with a
down
counter.
to say, yeah.
See, the truth of the matter is that I do not see how a judge is going to determine for a prosecutor. As a judge, you only determine what comes before you. It's the job of the prosecutor to say, is this thing worthy of being taken to court? If his decision is no, that is no.
All right. Let's move on to other stories this morning. The phone lines are still open. Be part of the conversation. For those of you who are sending comments on the Facebook page, I see you. I'll read it out very soon. Slamon Sheriff, Adedamola Okunola, Adekunle Christina, and Adewumi Kazim Adikas. But let's take a look at this story this morning. I really want us to talk about it. And this is from the chairman of INEC. He said this yesterday. He raised concern over what he described as unnecessary litigations and persistent internal leadership crisis within political parties. He said yesterday that infighting within the party were some of the reasons for voter apathy. He said our collective commitment is being challenged by leadership squabbles and judicialized politics. In the last cycle alone, INEC was joined in scores of suits that could have been avoided by simple adherence to party constitutions. As an independent body, we remain neutral, but we are no longer passive observers. Let's take this call quickly. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You're going to have to speak up as we can barely hear you. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right.
This is Adrian.
You're welcome, Adirunke. Please go ahead.
Yeah, concerning state policing, I urge the federal government to approve it because at least if we have state police, the level of insecurity we have in the country is very minimal. Just take a look at Amatekun, how they are operating in the state, and they have been doing so well. So I support the creation of the police. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adirunke. That's refreshing. All right. So the chairman of INEC said that political parties in Nigeria face a crisis of internal democracy, and of grave concern is the quality of the party primaries. He said that the quality of... Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning to you, sir.
All right, morning. Good morning, ma. Good morning, Mr. Sonny.
Morning, sir.
How are you doing, sir? My name is Salami. I'm calling from Mawoton. My take this morning is on the Middle East crisis, and specifically, I just want to, because I don't know what arrangement the federal government, President Tinubu, is trying to put in place in order to kind of cushion the effect on Nigerians about it, so that at least when Nigeria as a country be making more money, Nigerians will not be made to suffer internally. Because, it's enough for anybody to see now that Dangote is a businessman. And Dangote has nothing to even kind of even consider. In fact, he sees what is happening as a gain for him. Take, for instance, the second day, the second or the third day, the crisis escalated following the killing of the supreme leader. Dangote increased the price of PMS in Nigeria. And now, must we allow things to continue like this? So that's why I'm now saying that at least Mr. President should try to put certain things in place in order to protect the interests of Nigerians, especially concerning the cooking gas. Because I learned this morning that cooking gas price may rise as high as 1,400 naira per kg. Of course, as for the PMS, the price has already increased, and definitely it's just the beginning. So now, the federal government must put necessary machineries in motion in order to maybe kind of subsidize. I don't know. It's never
do you, Mr. Salami, do you believe that
yes,
the president will do anything related to subsidy anymore?
No, he might not. He might just kind of see this one as a national emergency, intervene in this crisis. I think you understand, because this is an emergency, really. It's unplanned for. It's so it's unplanned for. It's more or less like a national, like a natural disaster kind of now. So the same way Mr. President is intervening, is kind of seen to the cries to the victims of flood and what have you. That's the same way he has to come to this of Nigerians, especially concerning prices of cooking gas, because this is something that goes around every home in Nigeria. So Mr. President should do something about it. May God help us. Thank you.
Amen.
God
Thank you
bless
so much, Mr. Salami. You've raised the right questions, and I hope that the government at the federal level can answer these questions. Mr. Sani, quickly back to what the INEC chairman did say. Now, he's said that he's attacked the process of the party primaries, and he said that, he also said that the reason for voter apathy is because of the quality of people who are elected at the party primaries. Do you agree with this?
Thank you very much. In all seriousness, absolutely nothing concerns Mr. Wheaton with the quality of people produced at the primary election. His primary concern, his sole concern, is to ensure a free and fair election.
Oh, so no, we're not talking about Professor Amukpiton or his job requirements or what he's supposed to do. Okay. We're talking about, is there a truth in the things that he has said?
I don't see that as the reason why people are staying away from elections. The reason why people are staying away from elections is because that INEC appears to be compromised. Nobody wants to waste their time. People go out to vote. I mean, I don't know the problem, but on election days in Nigeria, if it doesn't rain, cat and dog, the sun is going to be as nasty as melting rocks. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And at the end of the day, you will mess up their time. Nobody's interested in that. Look at what happened in Abuja. I outlined some. Okay.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning to you, sir.
My name is George. I'm calling you from Oduekun.
You're welcome, Mr. George.
Yeah. We had regional police working alongside with the federal police. I don't know why the president is going the long way to establish state police. He was there when we were having regional police. There are things he wants to do because he has interest to do it. It works so fast for him. Within a few days, everything is done. He knows the ways to establish a state police. Why is he trying to go through this committee or no committee? Why is it that everything that concerns the people we drag feet? I am really not understanding the type of leadership Mr. President is giving to Nigeria. Look at the issue of the war in between America, Israel, and Libya.
Iran. Okay.
Sorry.
Iran.
Iran.
You people are giving me wahala. Look at the way it's affecting us now. It has just started because we are not even trying even now to think of how to protect ourselves against that is coming. We saw Ezazaki boys causing problem here when it has not even gotten to anywhere. What plans are we having on ground to protect this country? Is it until it starts before we start thinking of what to do? Please, we should talk to our president. Whoever knows him very well should talk to him. We don't want more suffering. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. George, for your contribution this morning. So, what then causes voter apathy?
The incompetence of INEC. I was telling you about a particular polling unit. The number of people registered to vote in that unit was not up to 300. And a certain party, the ruling party, let's say the way it is, the ruling party scored 1,211. in a polling unit where
INEC has come out to say
what?
that was a mistake from the polling officer.
Has the person been prosecuted as stated in the Electoral Act?
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, the beautiful lady woman.
Good morning. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. This is Ngomari calling from Apata. So I have a question. Talking about electioneering system in Nigeria, do you think Nigeria can have an each-free election in this country? Do you think we can have an each-free election as far as this country is concerned? No matter the what you put in place, no matter the reform, no matter anything, no matter the real time, whatever, any English you call it, electronic transfer, anything, can we have an each-free result, electoral result? That's number one. Number two, on the issue of the middle belt crisis, I won't blame the middle belt for what is happening in the country. And I will always blame our leader because they did not do the needful. If they had done the needful for us, when we have refineries that are not working. It's as beautiful as having a house, but the house is you are unable to see with your eyes. So of what relevance is the house that you are having? So it's the failure on the part of our leaders that has brought us to where we are. I was hearing from someone yesterday, from a filling station, a manager in a petrol station, a manager in a petrol station. It was telling me that petrol will be sold for as high as 1,000 naira by next week. Plus and minus, if it comes to them in as high as that, what are you going to do? That if it is being sold for 2,000 naira, we buy it. It was a failure on the part of our leader. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mario. You've raised
like I was saying, there were a lot of violations, violations of electoral laws in the just concluded Abuja elections. This is a man who calls himself a professor of law. What has he done to prosecute those responsible for that? That is why people are not voting. He should stop deflecting attention.
People don't have trust and confidence.
That is why people are not voting. That is what he needs to address. Not that he should start deflecting attention from him. No. He is the reason why people are not voting.
All right, let me take a look at the comments on Facebook as we move on to other stories. Suleiman Sharif says, good morning and kudos to everyone in the studio. State police is the only solution to Nigeria's security crisis. Let all states take care of the security issues and recruit citizens of their state into the police force as homegrown policing officers benefit in community trust and local knowledge. My question is, does Nigeria police will have control on state police? Well,
they are not
Mr.
going
Sani
to
says
have
no.
any form of control over them.
All right. Adedamola Okunlola says, beautiful morning to you in the studio. State police is the only solution to insecurity. I hope the president and IGP keeps to their promise on state police approval, as it will help curb banditry and insecurity at large. Nigerians deserve to live in a secured environment. Thank you. Thank you too. Adekunle Ojo Christina says, good morning and well done. Adeomi Kazim Adeka says, good morning and well done from New Garage. All right. Thank you so much for your comments this morning. Quickly, as we conclude the show, we don't have so much time left. Race for Adelabu's ministerial seat heats up. Interested individuals already jostling for the seat of the Minister of Power as the current minister, Adebayo Adelabu, prepares to contest the Oyo State governorship election. I'll say that this story as a whole is inappropriate. Number one, because
he hasn't resigned.
He hasn't resigned. Number two, because that seat as the Minister of Power is not even. It's not a seat that we vote, people in. And finally, also because we've not reached the campaigning period, and he has not come out to tell us that, I want to be, or I'm contesting in a way, okay, in the actual way that it should, to say he wants to contest. But this morning, I want us to dissect the minister's performance and how that may affect, according to the Punch, his candidacy for the Oyo State governorship election. Someone reached out to me the other day and said in Ibarakwa, this year they haven't had light.
For the whole year, and it's the third month of the year. The truth of the matter is that the power situation in this country has never been excellent since I was born. We have now had 247 light. Mm-hmm. But, when I was young, it wasn't more than maybe 3 hours per day that you would not have light. Mm. Up to maybe 2015, we were still having 20 to 21, 20 hours of power supply per day. But now, power supply is now the biggest luxury in Nigeria. Since this guy became minister, the situation has gone from terrible to something I don't even know how to describe anymore. There is no light sometimes for days, running into weeks, even in high-road areas. So the point now is this.
Even in some band A and band
areas.
B areas.
No, but forget about band B. I don't like band B.
Some people enjoy 16 hours of light.
But I stay in the band B area. And
let's just conclude that your band B area is just unlucky.
For 3-4 days now, there is no light. So what sort of band B
and the
is
weather
that?
is so hot.
It's terribly hot.
And people are fasting.
I mean, it's. So let's go back to the point. If we are to assess his chances of becoming governor by his performance as minister
of power and the situation of power in Oyo State.
If in Oyo State, where he intends to come and contest, if he was my personal friend, don't resign. Because there is no chance for you. That's just the rule. Don't resign. Don't bother resigning. Because it's like you are losing what you have for what you can never get. That is, if INEC is going to allow the people to vote. And if INEC is going to allow people's vote to count.
It's our right to vote.
It is our right to vote. We have been voting, but INEC has been doing something else. That's the point. If it's going to be one man, one vote, Benny, don't resign.
All right, today, Mr. Adelabu, this is a call to you. We need power in Ibadan, your state. Ibarakwa people said they haven't had power supply this year.
In my house, I've not had power for 4 days.
Speak to the IBEDC. A band B neighborhood hasn't had power for 4 days. We know what that means. We know that power is life in Nigeria. Or electric power is life in Nigeria. For those for producers, for manufacturers, for even the rest of us.
Even students who want to read.
Let's even forget that I want to read or want to do anything. The weather is hot. People are fasting. We need cold water. We need these are the bare necessities. Dear Mr. Adelabu, please do something about this. Speak to the IBDC. You're the Minister of Power, and ensure that they do. Do the needful in Ruth's voice. Let them do the needful. It's very important. This is how we wrap it up on Perspectives Unlimited this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Sani, for joining me.
It is always an honor to be
A big
here.
thank you to everyone who called and sent messages on Facebook. Perspectives Unlimited continues tomorrow, so don't go anywhere, okay? But for right now, the sports team is ready to take you across the world of sports. Unfortunately for Nigeria, FIFA has made its ruling. But you hear more on the AM Sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. Till next time, I say God bless Nigeria and God bless all of us. Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.